Welcome to Points of Interest. I'm one of your hosts, Jake, along with my co-host, James, over here.
Hey, guys.
If you're new to the show, this is Inverted Reality's Gaming News Podcast. We are back. We took a little over a month off, a month-ish, about-ish off for the holidays, and then we got busy, and so we are back. This is a weekly podcast every week. Normally, what would happen? Normally, we record the podcast on Mondays, and then so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we break it out in pieces for you to listen to, and then Friday, the whole show goes up as one big video, an MP3, for you to listen to at your leisure. But this week, we're a little behind. I've been really busy at work. So it is going to be just the video and the audio coming out on Friday.
Yeah, just one big package this week.
Yep. So you can get the audio wherever you get your podcasts, and you get the video on YouTube and probably Facebook. Probably.
Hopefully. I don't know. We'll see.
But if you're watching it on Facebook, let us know.
Let us
Remember,
know.
you can follow us on Twitter at IR Games. Stay up to date on what we're doing. We'll tweet out links. We'll let you know what's going on. We tweet out jokes occasionally. We ask Google for jokes on more than occasionally.
That's right. We both have Google Home Minis.
We do. That was an update. We got Google Home Minis. We got smart lights for our homes.
Yep. It's basically we're
rolling in the dough. Speaking of smart homes, this is a
Right.
little tangent.
All right.
I was watching a video. So if you don't know, the company Rooster Teeth is owned by a couple different dudes that started Red versus Blue. It's not important. One of the founders of the company, big home automation guy, he owns a Tesla. So what he can do is he renamed his Echo computer. And so when he wakes up in the morning, he says, "Computer, wake up the house." And it turns on his kitchen. It starts his coffee brewing. It starts his car.
Yeah, it does.
Opens his garage and pulls the car out in front of the door.
Whoa, that's a new one.
Yeah.
In what world do you...
So he just walks to the front door, hops in his warmed up... Well, I mean, it's an electric car, so engine's not...
But I mean, it's
warming up.
warm inside.
Yeah, it's
cold
warm
outside.
inside. He hops in his car, drives to his workout, comes home, and he can, while he's inside, be like, "Computer, warm up the car for me."
That's insane.
It's awesome.
It's one thing to start the car. I've seen that before, but pull it out and
Yeah,
around.
the garage door open, unless he did something he edited out of the video.
Right.
The garage door opened and the car pulled out with no one in it.
That's crazy. Must be Photoshop.
Every part of me wants that set up now.
There are so many things that would cost so much more money than anything we'll ever have.
Yeah.
I'll strive
even
for
got smart
more
blinds.
I'll strive for more hue bulbs at this point. That's my
Yeah.
goal. I want a color bulb. That's all I want.
Yeah. His bathroom is just windows that he's got smart blinds in. So as he gets in there to brush his teeth, they go zzz.
It's pretty cool.
It's amazing. But
be like, "Hey computer, I'm brushing my teeth." Classical music starts playing in the background. Yeah. Classical elevator music. Or jazz, whatever. Classical jazz music.
classy music.
Yeah.
Classical.
Classical.
All right. So remember this is a gaming podcast?
We're a little bit out of practice.
James didn't speak at all over the break. But speaking of James, what you been playing lately?
What have I been playing lately?
With all this time off we've had.
Well, it may sound familiar, but Assassin's Creed Origins.
Hey, that screenshot looks familiar.
I've been there's a lot to get to today, but I've been playing. We got a lot of games on Black Friday, and we've played almost none of them because that's how Black Friday goes, right?
Yeah.
You get all the stuff on sale. So I got quite a few that I want to get to.
If you've played a little bit of all of them.
Yeah, see, that's a super bad place for me to go because I started Assassin's Creed first, and I just want to push through it. I really like it. I enjoy it. I think I just hit 23 or 24. I feel like I have no idea on the concept of where I am in the story. I know that, I killed this person. Yay, we're done. Nah, there's more people. Oh, I killed these people. There's more people.
Yeah, see, that's
So
where I'm at.
We're getting there.
I'm level 29, and
Yeah.
I've killed all the targets that you have laid out there.
Yeah.
But now it's we got to take care of this guy.
Right.
And I'm all right, I have a mission that's in my level range, and then 3 that aren't. They're at 32, 33, and 35.
Right.
And I'm well, I mean, that's a long ways away. I'd see how
really,
long it takes to level up now.
There's a big difference. Yeah. So I've just been doing side missions, and I go to new places. So I just got to the pyramids, which are super cool. I got
That's cool. Have you slid down it yet?
Yeah, well, because
Yeah.
I had to get up there to get the fast travel point, the Eagle
Synchronization point.
sync point, whatever. That was really cool. It was way cooler than I thought it would be. It was hard to get up there too. It was not an easy. It was not just handhold. You had to navigate all the way
Like a
around
little
the
bit
sides
sideways.
of the pyramid, and you come up and over. It was cool. So I liked it. I've been exploring the tombs in the pyramids, looking for cool stuff. You find stuff to give you skill points.
Yep.
So that's cool. I love it. So I want to finish
Game
it
was really good.
and then get on to the next game. I have not yet decided what I want my next
You
one
need to play
be.
through all the Halos.
Part of me, like, we've been going through the Halos together, so that's part of what you've
Together-ish.
been playing, right? So
I'll also point out, I've been playing the Master Chief Collection. That's not what I'm about to point out, but we've changed our setup a little bit. You may notice I'm sitting in front of a tablet instead of my computer, and James is also in tabletish mode. But my computer is just beneath the camera. We're trying a different setup.
Yep.
So if you see us occasionally glancing down this way as opposed to glancing up this way, it's because we can see the recording happening in front of us.
that's right.
So it's a little...
We're in the future.
We are in the future. We have to watch the video from the past
That's
because it's laggy.
So Jake's been playing.
I've been playing the Master Chief Collection.
Master Chief.
And by playing, I have completed the Master Chief Collection.
So you're done.
I did.
You
I
got through
beat
5
Halo 4.
or 4. I guess that's 4.
Yes,
right?
I went through 4.
You haven't started 5 yet.
I have not started 5. 4 was really good. I had never played 4 before.
Yeah.
I'd played the other 3. I hadn't beaten 3 before, but I had played through the beginning of it several times.
Right.
But going through 4, you can tell there's a difference because 4 is when 343 took over.
Right.
So if you didn't know, Bungie's the original company that did Halo. Welcome to where we are. So they did Halo 1 through Reach. So it's 1, 2, 3, ODST, and Reach.
Right.
They did those games, and then 343 has done 4 and 5, and then a different company did Halo Wars.
Okay.
That's a different company. But there was a definite difference in feel. You could tell like what they were trying to like call back to in some of the old Halos, but it didn't feel like the old Halos. It's not bad.
Right.
But it
wasn't
felt different
Bungie.
to me. Yeah, it wasn't Bungie.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
again, that's not a knock or a criticism.
No.
That's just
It
something
is,
I noticed.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been. We finished up Halo 1 together. You came back and we played it together. We're gonna do some. I started Halo 2. Graphics, huge jump.
It's a big difference.
I understand why, but it's just huge difference. It's way better already.
That's what I was-
in the first like mission or two that
Yeah.
I've played.
I remember telling you like when we
So-
got there, I was like, you would believe that Halo 2 was made yesterday.
Yeah,
It's so good.
It was good. So
Remastered.
I'm excited to play more of it. So that's been like, I'll pick it up and play a mission or two, go back to Assassin's Creed, and that's really all I'm doing to bounce around because there's so many. Like I want to play Wolfenstein, I want to play Uncharted Lost Legacy. I've got Shadow of War. I started it and I was really excited. And it's like that's a really big open world game. I don't want 2 big open world games
That's a
going
lot
at the same time. Like that's a lot of control schemes, a lot of things going on. The 2 games are very different. It's like get through Origins, then I'll be working my way through Halo just as we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good though. It's a good problem to have because 6 months ago we didn't have that. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't have a ton of games.
Hopefully coming up soon we'll have that problem sort of.
We should be getting some new stuff in soon. That's the whole point of going crazy on Black Fridays because we know there's big stuff on the horizon.
There's a dead time over the holidays.
That's right.
But coming up this year, hopefully this year we have some cool games
Oh yeah.
in the pipeline.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of people talk to us. We talked to people both like on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Just like things you guys want to see, things we want to talk about. And so one of the things we wanted to start with was things to look forward to in 2018.
Yes.
We don't have like an official countdown. We don't have official fancy graphics package. We just have screenshots, and we're going to talk about them because we like to talk about them.
Necessarily numbered in any specific order.
No.
As much as this is just the order that I put them on the Google Doc.
Yeah, as much as we could remember them as we went through.
The order that I found as I was looking through, like, what games are coming up in 2018?
Right.
Looked at news in forever. But coming up first, and as of yesterday, we got a release date, God of War.
Yeah.
So we saw a sweet story. Ooh, nice.
I know. I'm really excited. They had a story trailer come out. I have no idea if it's kind of got spoilers in it because I don't know what you don't really know until you get there.
Who knows?
I don't think it does. There's enough flashes of stuff.
Also,
Just
games are so long that
yeah.
having
Especially they're
spoilers
saying
in a
between
game trailer is really hard.
25 and 35 hours is what
Yeah.
Barlog was saying. So it's interesting, but I wanted to point this out because this collector's edition, some of them are kind of crap, right?
Yeah.
This one, it's $130, this version, so it's not cheap. But you've got a 9-inch figurine here with Atreus.
Atreus is a band.
Right. Well, that's what's always confused me. And then you got Kratos there. They're murdering as they do. And you've got
2-inch carvings down here.
Yep, you got 2-inch carvings down here of some in-game people. You got a steelbook case with a physical copy of the game, cloth map, and you've also got some digital stuff. The digital stuff's kind of cool because it includes some artwork and some concept stuff and things like that. But what's really cool is it's got an intro comic book from Dark Horse Comics, and it's starting. I think it's starting a series, or it is the series of Kratos before Atreus. So it's covering that saga. And I'm thinking there will be more that you can get down the line.
Yeah.
This is like the starter comic book of it. So $130. I don't normally do collector's editions, but that
I'm suddenly tempted. There are things that, like, I'm
a lot
not
of
huge
stuff
on
there.
figurines, kind of like you.
Yeah, I'm not usually big on them.
But the cloth map really has me interested. Really like the idea of like the art book.
Yeah.
That'd
be cool.
That's really cool.
That's what we'll do. We'll just go split skis on it, and you can have half the
Figurines
stuff,
and I'll
have
take
half
some of the
stuff.
other bits.
Exactly. It'll be perfect.
How do we split the digital content?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. We'll just share. We'll create a new account and just have separate passwords. We'll share it.
Be like, hey, I'm gonna play God of War. Okay. Different save
No, it's
file.
It's a physical copy, so somebody's gonna have to go buy the digital. So we'll see. We'll wrestle over. We're excited.
We'll have to go split skis
April-
on two separate things.
April 20th. Yeah. We'll combine the cost and then just split it right down the middle. It'd still be expensive.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't
It's gonna
save
be
that much money.
$190.
Shut up. But so that's coming out April 20th. The initial rumors were like March 22nd or March 16th, around that time frame. Slightly longer than we thought. Still, it's technically outside the first quarter, but we've got 3 months of marketing and stuff to come out with. A few days ago, actually, Cody Barlog, one of the head guys for it, actually tweeted out, said, Super Bowl? Is that about smoking weed? And then had a winky face after it. And so now we know it's coming out 420. And so it's just one of those things, like, you had no idea then. It just seemed like a guy who's ignorant about sports. So I'm super excited. The story trailer they had really has got me amped up. Like, it's got a human-sided Kratos. It's got secrets. It's got mystery. The voice actor,
the bit with like
the kid.
bandages.
Yeah,
coming
the
off his arms.
bandages.
You're
There's,
like,
if you look through some
what's
of
that look like?
the concept art and stuff, you could see the scars from the
chains.
From the chains. And so it's, I don't know, man. It's cool. Everyone's concern, I think, is that Atreus, his son, is going to be an annoying sidekick. But Game Informer's been running one of their month-long cover story features, like all these different things about God of War, developer interviews, it's all kinds of cool concept art and different things going on. One of the things they had was on the 22nd was 3 reasons why Atreus won't be a stupid, annoying sidekick. Which is, I think that's the general concern you have.
Yeah.
So it's like he's got some things that he does passively, but most of the time he's just waiting for you to push a button so you can use him as much or as little as you want. And you don't have to monitor his health. You don't have to keep track of him. Like, he takes care of himself, like it's fine. And so then you can choose to
what
use
we want
him
in a
or not.
sidekick.
You're always in control of Kratos. You're never using the kid. You're never the kid. The story is focused on you. So how that comes out will be interesting.
He actually a side character, like he should be.
Yeah. So
no one needs kids in video games.
So we'll see. It's interesting because just go watch the story trailer. We'll post the link below. But I'm just really jazzed for it. I'd love to say, I'm just gonna go blind. Like, I'm gonna shut off all of my monitoring for it. I'm gonna ignore everything I see for it. That's a dirty lie.
I don't think you've ever done that for any
I've
game.
never done that for I can't do it. I physically am unable to contain.
You
the
don't
hype.
bear that capacity.
I am a hype train. Like, that's what I do. Like, I get hyped when mobile games are updating in my Play Store while I'm waiting for the download to finish. I'm like, oh man, there's a new update. What's it? Patch notes. Oh, bug fixes. I'm gonna go find all my bugs. I don't even know what the game is. Can't even spell the game, and I'm jazzed about it.
I've never even played Clash of Clans.
Yeah, so that's probably, I'd say it's close to top on my list. I'd say maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
I think it's only number 1 right now because that's the only one we have a release.
The story
date for
trailer
this year
just came out, and it's just like,
right.
And we were playing God of War 3 the other day.
Yep.
It's just like,
and so we know when it's coming out. It's really the only one so far that we know. There's one more we'll get to. But I think that has me more jazzed about it until we learn more about the other games.
Yep.
So what's next?
Next up, I have Days Gone. So this game, again, don't have a release date for.
Nope.
But
2018.
2018. It was in PlayStation E3, and he said everything in the showcase was going to be out in 2018.
Mm-hmm. It was at PlayStation Experience, was it? No. Yeah, it was. That was the trailer where they had some very brutal beatings.
I didn't actually watch that trailer.
We'll go back and watch it.
I'm a lot better at the radio silent.
My bad. That was Last of Us.
Thinking of Last of Us 2. That was E3, and that was a lot of media.
Cool. I think that was PlayStation Experience.
No, it was E3.
You're probably right.
It was 100%.
They had stuff at, that's right. They had stuff at Paris Games Week for some of the games.
Yeah.
PlayStation Experience didn't have much.
There's just so many conferences that happen that you see so many things for. It's like, so the E3 trailer is the Paris Games Week trailer, the Gamescom trailer.
We had a lot of coverage for stuff. Days Gone looks really good.
I'm excited.
We had some at both the last 2 E3s. Look really good. We actually had some real gameplay.
Tired of hearing about it. I'd love to actually play it.
Yeah. But I think the cool thing for me was you see like the difference in like they played through like the same scenario and like two different outcomes.
Yeah.
And like how you handled this situation affected what happens at this point, and then later on it now gives you this situation instead of the other one.
Yeah.
Or like how seasons and stuff affect it. I'm interested. It'll be a cool game.
Yeah.
So
It'll be a
again,
lot of fun.
no idea. Since we don't know anything yet, it'll probably be like fall.
Yeah,
I
I'd
would
assume
say.
it's a fall release.
Fall,
It seems like it's going to be a heavy
maybe
hitter.
holiday, but usually it'd be like fall.
No,
time.
I'd put it well outside the release of the Call of Duty window, so early November. It won't be in
probably
maybe
looking like
October.
September, October.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So
That's on our list.
yep. Next up, Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm excited for this. I did not play Red Dead Redemption 1, but I heard enough about it that I feel like I did.
Yeah. I'm with you there. It didn't really appeal to me when I was younger, and I think that was just
Kind
who
of
I
did to
was
me,
as a
but
person.
I never got to play it because it was when I was in high school, and I never had a console that could play it.
Right.
So I never did, and it was
That's reasonable.
one of those games that my roommates didn't have, and just kind of wasn't around in college.
Right.
So I never played it.
Yeah.
But
I got
I
you.
played Gun. I probably beat that game like 8 times.
Right.
It was so short.
I'm trying to remember. I think we have a release date for Red Dead Redemption. I just don't.
Want to ask Google?
Hey Google, when does Red Dead Redemption 2 come out?
Wait for it.
On the website Polygon.com, they say, Red Dead Redemption 2 will launch in spring 2018, publisher Rockstar Games announced.
Publisher.
Okay, so we
Shout out to
don't.
Polygon.
I can't remember. I feel like I saw a more specific release window.
If you guys didn't
but-
hear it, Google told us that Polygon says it's supposed to release in spring 2018.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see that before before God of War.
I don't know what I'm
or
going to
after.
do. I mean, at least God of War it's going to be single player. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be huge. The concern I have is probably the concern a lot of people have is what the online portion of it looks like.
Yeah.
How much is it going to be like Grand Theft Auto 5 online? Good, bad, or indifferent, right? That was their cash cow. So is it going to be attacked on single player in the idea of having this really good multiplayer? Like what's the...
Yeah.
What's
Grand Theft
the
Auto 5
balance
wasn't really that way.
Right.
Like the single player was big and it was really well
Especially
done.
at first, though. But I mean, like
Yeah.
later on in the
But later
game,
on, they canned all their single player DLC and they moved to just like, oh, we're doing
it's not possible. You can't do single player DLC.
Yeah, can't do single player DLC. But
Nobody
we can do
buys
these
it.
Giant, whatever. But and the multiplayer is just like the fun, like keep on going. It's a lot of fun. You kind of
Right.
get some friends, do heists or whatever. So I would hope that they do the kind of same thing here. But I kind of wonder how much Rockstar looks at that and is like, that's kind of old hat. Like, let's
Yeah.
move on and do
That's
something
the
different. And
concern.
you can't do exactly a replica of GTA 5
Right.
because obviously there's no Los Santos doesn't exist in wherever Red Dead Redemption takes place.
Right.
Unless it's just really old West Los Santos. It was just
Yeah.
Los.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. There's always just that concern, I think, with all the talk about loot boxes and DLC and microtransactions stuff. Like, how much is that going to affect it? Because Grand Theft Auto didn't start out that way, but that was, 7-8 years ago when it came out? So
Yeah.
that culture wasn't available like it is now. So how
think-
soon do we get that
I
push
feel like
for it?
Rockstar, and as much as people want to complain about like microtransactions in general, I think Rockstar has handled it really well. And like,
Yeah.
it's such an optional thing. You can go through and you can earn the money yourself. You don't have to buy the shark cards. You don't have to buy anything.
Well, yeah.
And it's like that in a lot of games, but in GTA, it's really not invasive. If you want to like get through and get a lot of the good loot, you either get friends and play heists, or you just spend money. And so it's more fun to just like hook up with friends and do it that way.
All right. I mean, I'm probably going
think
to play
anyways.
it anyways. I don't think it'll be a day one buy for me.
Probably not.
It might be a Redbox type thing. Just
Yeah.
to check it out, see what it's all about. We've got a family video nearby because those still exist, so I can go and rent the game as soon as it comes out. So I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. I'm excited to
we'll
see
get to
it.
that in a second.
Yeah.
This one's not new,
Oh.
but I'm excited for it.
It's
I
new
know
to
you're
you.
not. Yeah, it's new to me. Dark Souls
100%
Remastered. They're remastering the first Dark Souls,
Mhm.
and I'm excited for that. I
I mean, you
haven't
like
beaten
three.
Dark Souls 3.
I was gonna say
by
you
any
always talk
means.
about how much you like it, but then you always come back and like I haven't beat it yet.
You want to play it and
No,
see
no,
why I
I'm
haven't
not.
beat it?
It's just funny to me.
I dig the gameplay loop and I love the combat. And I love the art style and the world of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I know it's not really your cup of tea,
Nah, it's
but
not.
like I love it. The combat feels
Yeah.
so good, and it's similar to because we were playing Cuphead over the break too, and it's one of those games that it forces you, it demands you as a gamer to get better.
Mm.
It
That's very
doesn't
true.
like here. Oh, you're not doing well. Like here you can lower the level, or like here's a good weapon.
Right.
It's like you died. All your leveling up stuff is where you died. You got to get back there if you want it. So how much do you want it, and how much do you want to just move on?
Right.
But you can't move on until you get better.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I wouldn't mind the combat loop, and I wouldn't mind that, but the art style is just so drab and dreary and just blah. Every time I played it, I pick it up, it's like blah. It doesn't draw me in like I would hope it would. It
Yeah.
just the whole world just seems like a sepia tone and dark colors, and it just blah. Like I that's kind of why I
Let me
think
look at the screenshot. The bright color is the fire, which is an amber.
but so it's a lot like I've never really been attracted to like steampunk stuff because of that. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's all really cool looking stuff, but it looks gross
It's
and
just
grungy
rust.
and dirty and rust. It's just nasty. I don't like it. I just
Yeah.
don't. It makes me feel dirty and just kind of grimy, and so
Yeah.
I've just never been a big fan of that.
Yeah, and I dig. I mean, the other thing that really kind of gets me in Dark Souls is very much like the giant bosses. So like we see that
Yeah.
in some other games. I don't know what game we were playing recently. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, whoa, there's this giant boss. That's really cool. And it's like, yeah, it's like some of the bosses in Dark Souls. They're these giant hulking menaces. It's just your job to like take them down.
I think that
It's
was.
so
I
much
think it
fun.
might have been Cuphead when we were in there.
Maybe
I
no,
could be
it
wrong.
was a while ago.
Mm.
We were talking about big bosses coming up, but
You just never know.
yeah, it's a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, cool thing about it. So it's on PS4 and Xbox One, and I don't think it's on PC because it's already there on PC. I could be wrong,
Something like that.
but it comes with the original DLC because back then they did still have DLC,
It's also coming out on the Switch.
and it's coming out on Switch. The big like caveat is it's only 30 frames a second on the Switch.
It's also
So
720 on the Switch.
it's 1080 when it's docked,
No, when it's docked.
but 720
1080
handheld. 720/30 docked or 720/30 handheld. I think that's pretty good for a game like Dark Souls. So if you want to play it on the go and you don't mind not having 60 frames,
Yeah.
go for it. I think this is one of those games that kind of demands 60 frames.
Yeah.
And I think it's good that we're going to see that 1080p 60 on a regular PS4. We don't need the Pro to get that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. It's exciting. It's good for you people that like it.
What do you mean, you people?
That one's another spring 2018 release. So no, it was May. It was like May 4th or something like that.
Something like that.
So
Yeah, it's in that window.
Yeah.
Definitely
So-
in May. Next up,
mm,
definitely not that. But
definitely.
we'll go to that. Spider-Man.
Oh, nerds.
Spider-Man. It's the
Spoiler alert,
next
I don't have
one.
a screenshot for that one, so we're
Okay,
gonna have to
we'll
we're-
catch it
we'll catch
at
it.
the end.
Oh, dang
But this
it.
game looks great. Well,
It does.
was it E3 we saw the demo for this. Showed us
Yeah, we saw them at both E3s. The first one was just like a 2-minute like teaser trailer in 2016.
We saw like a full-on like
this year was
demo.
like gameplay demo. We saw interacting with the environment. We saw QuickTime events. We saw a little bit of the story. We saw Miles Morales, the current Spider-Man in the comics. Very exciting stuff. Everything we keep hearing about it is it's got the best of all of the Spider-Man games rolled into it. So it's got the story, it's got the right web slinging mechanics, it's got the combat that kind of looks like Arkham Asylum. You know, you're playing as Spider-Man in his prime. You're not trying to figure it out as a high schooler. You have your
Yeah.
powers already. You have all these things at your disposal, and you're not sitting there trying to figure out which button to hit for web slinging.
Mhm.
So it should be interesting. I really like the suit. I like the white spider on him. It's a little bit different than like the Marvel movies in terms of it, but
Yeah.
it is more or less considered a canon type story. So
Yeah.
so it's cool. It's exciting. No release date
Nope.
at all. They were saying
why not?
Q2, so May,
Is this
June.
Insomniac?
Yeah, Insomniac. So it's going to be good. I
Yeah,
can almost
I'm excited
guarantee
for it. It's going to be a great game, and it's going to play well, and we're going to love it. We
Mhm.
just want it now.
Exactly.
Please. Immediately. Tomorrow. Thank you.
Would love it now.
But next up,
Next up.
Detroit Become Human.
Mm.
This game looks great.
We've been seeing trailers for this since like E3 2015.
Yeah, we've been seeing this game forever. We know we want it. All we want is it.
Yeah, I'm
Again,
in.
with a lot of
I-
these games, with all the games on this list, it's just like, please just give it to me.
Give
please.
Give it. This is another one that we don't have a release date on yet. If you don't know Detroit, Beyond Human,
Become Human.
Become Human. I don't know why I keep mixing those up, but I keep doing that.
You're crossing up Beyond Two Souls.
I probably am. But so Detroit is made by the people who made Heavy Rain, made Beyond Two Souls, like
Quantic Dream,
Quantic Dream.
I believe.
David Cage is the guy's name that does them. So it's a story about androids, more or less. In the future, androids that are very lifelike, and it follows, there's like 3 or 4 different protagonists following them in different places in Detroit in terms of there's like an uprising going on with the AIs, and AIs being replaced with newer models, and all sorts of really interesting stuff. And it's all like
Mhm.
decision-based stuff. So it's interesting. I normally don't like these kind of games. Like I've never been a huge fan of it just because the pacing's always kind of weird. I think after playing Life is Strange, I know it's not the same thing,
Not quite.
but it's a similar genre. In like you investigate, you find clues, you make decisions, and those decisions impact.
So it's
everything
action
you
and
do.
more like decisions and story.
Right.
Super heavy story.
Yeah, and so Detroit is in those veins to an extent.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. So the demo we saw at the last E3, the last demo we've seen of it was you come in and you're supposed to defuse a hostage situation, and so it shows you like gathering clues, and you're looking at somebody's laptop, and you're getting information from that, and then you see the blood, and then you see like these clues here and there, and all those give you insight to solve what happened. Or you could just run right to it and jump into the hostage situation and say the wrong
with no
thing,
knowledge, yeah.
and you have no knowledge, and so you would
Gives you
fail
like a
the
percentage
situation.
rate that you like a success rate.
Yeah,
Like you gain enough knowledge to be like, okay, I can get like a 90% success rate.
yeah,
I walk into the situation. So it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna spend. Oh, man, it's gonna be fun.
yeah. And so again,
into
that's they're saying maybe Q2, maybe Q1.
Yep.
Not much stuff. There's been some weird allegations over at Quantic Dreams of some HR sexual harassment type issues. Nothing really has come of it.
It's unfortunately becoming industry standard.
Right. So who knows if that's affecting the game at
Yeah.
all. But we're excited
Hopefully
for
not.
it. Nonetheless, next up,
Dreams.
Dreams. This is a weird one.
Yeah. So
I'll be
I
completely
haven't
honest.
actually looked at anything for this, but I've heard about it secondhand from people in podcasts.
Okay.
And what makes me excited for it is there's a lot of player created level elements in it.
Oh yeah.
And so and it gets deep. It's not just it's similar to Mario Maker where people can play levels and they'll have like ranks people like this person's a top level creator, this person's a top level curator, this person's a top level player
Yeah.
of all these different levels. And you'll have rankings, and so you go through people's playlists of like, hey, this guy makes great playlists of
yeah.
great levels, and this guy makes great levels, and this guy plays
Mhm.
through all these levels really well. So you want him to play your level, and you want to look for this person to get good levels,
Right.
that kind of thing. So it looks really fun. But
It is
there's-
interesting. The difference here is when Dreams was first announced, they weren't going to put a story in it. They were just going to give it to you,
Mhm.
give you some suggestions, and then go. And it was supposed to be, it's Media Molecule that's doing it,
Mhm.
who has a really great success. They did some Little Big Planet stuff. And so it's a very interesting they pushed everything back so they could make a story because there was no way to explain to people what Dreams was.
Yeah.
And it's literally like if you can come up with it, you can make it. And we're not just talking like in Mario Maker, for the most part, everything's a platformer, right? In
Yeah.
some form or vein of it, it's platformer. Here, you can make a platformer. You can make a shooter. You can make Final Fantasy. You could make literally, like, if you can think of it, you can make it with stuff in the game. You can draw stuff in there and put it in there.
Yep.
You can create. It's
Your levels can be as complicated as you want them to be. Like they have one of the podcasts I listened to, one of the guys was a game developer. And so he was in there playing the demo. He asked us, like, do you have like actual game dev tools inside of here? Like if I wanted to like have the door open or the bridge start shaking as I walk up to it, does it have to be shaking all the time, or can I set like a trigger that they walk across the trigger and it starts shaking the bridge or whatever? And he's like, oh yeah, that's in there. He's like, we don't put it out on the front menu because most people don't want that. It's too much to take in, but you
Yeah.
can put these triggers in. It'll do whatever you want it to do.
Yeah.
You can develop your own game inside this game,
Yeah.
which is what makes me excited for it. I'm
It's
really excited to
interesting.
just see like this community, because you see what people do with Mario Maker and all the really
Right.
cool things they've done with that. Now imagine if they had even more
the
tools.
actual tools for it instead of just
Yeah,
hobbling it together.
You're not. It sounds bad. You're not just tied to making Mario games. You
Right.
can make any game you want it to be, and I think that's really cool. And that's what makes
That's
me
cool.
excited for it. I could hop in some of these player lists, be like, I want to play through your list today because I saw it on a like IGN article and
Yeah.
said it was really
It'll
good.
be interesting. And so then you spend 20 hours in this, and it's like, okay, that's one section of one part of one tiny scope that is this game.
Yep.
And it
Just
it's
seems like it has
it's cool.
a ton of replayability.
For me, I want to see it. Like, all this talk is really great, but I want to see it. I want to experience it. I want to know what it's like to create stuff. Is it that easy, or is it overly complicated? I've never been big on creating my own stuff because I just don't like, my brain
good
does
at
not
that.
function that way. Like
No.
I can't envision it. Like creating a track in Little Big Planet kart racing or whatever. That was the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole life.
We made a ridiculous track.
We did. It
That
was
was
just
awesome.
like spiral up and
It
up and up
spiraled
and
up
up.
all the way it could go, and then came back down and had these weird hills that didn't work, and it was a
It was
bad
so
race.
bad.
And
But that's just that's where my brain went. And
looking at
that's
that blank
it.
canvas, you're like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's like, oh, cool. There's 75 different buttons you can use here. And if you hook up a keyboard, you can
start your first
30 more.
piece.
Oh, it just was too
Yeah.
much, overwhelming.
So I'm excited to see the creative,
I wanna
like
see where
those
that comes
creative
from, yeah.
types. And I'd imagine like what you'll see out of a lot of this is people getting hired into the games industry. Like this guy makes this great level,
you
this
have a
super D level that everybody
portfolio.
loves. Exactly.
It's not a bad idea.
A dev can look in there and be like, well, what did he make? and they can poke around inside there and be like, this is like, there's a lot of potential here, and maybe get a hold of that guy and be like, hey, come interview here. We want to talk to you about working with us.
Definitely an option. So
Great
no
freebies.
release date. People are hoping 2018. We don't really know. It's
Fingers crossed.
yeah, we'll see. Obviously, when we know, you'll know.
Again, on the not real list of games that of coming out, Bloodborne 2.
Boy, you'd love it.
We've heard nothing for.
Nope, nothing for it. But we did get a teaser at PlayStation Experience at the end from Software. That's who makes it. I'm not saying from twice because I'm an idiot. Just From Software. But a little teaser is like a 15-second video. Barely qualifies as anything. Yeah, it was the same people that did Dark Souls and Demon Souls.
I thought it was somebody else.
But so they put out a teaser for what is a new IP. This is literally all we know. It was like a 20-second teaser.
That's a proper teaser
to
right there.
show you 3 words. There's no date. There's no context of anything. So we don't know. They are seeming to say it's a new IP. People have tried to find Shadows Die Twice in any From Software thing ever. Can't find anything. So the belief is that it's some kind of new IP. Very, very doubtful we see it again. We might see it at E3, but
Yeah.
it's probably farther on down.
Yeah.
But you just never know.
I never got a chance to play Bloodborne.
Yeah.
But being in Dark Souls, I know it's Dark Souls with a
Same
different
thing.
environment.
Yeah, there's no shield.
There's no
So it's
shield. You have
closer
a gun instead of shield.
It's close. It's closer to Demon Souls because Demon Souls doesn't
Yep.
have a shield either.
Yep. Don't change. Leave this picture up because the game we didn't have a picture for is Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
So that was the other thing I thought of when we were talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. Sea of Thieves coming out
March 20th.
March 20th. But being released on Xbox Game Pass day one.
Yeah, it's something they just announced this week. Xbox Game Pass is trying to give people more avenues to get games. And so what better way than to start launching titles with it? So far, they haven't announced the price increase. But so Sea of Thieves is going to be the first one. March 20th, you own Xbox Game Pass, you can download Sea of Thieves.
Yep.
Done. Easy. They say they're going to do it in the future with Halo games and Forza games and Gears games. Pretty much their big first-party exclusive, which there's like 4. So those are going to be there with your Game Pass. They don't right now have discounts for like buying it for longer periods of time.
Yeah, it's $10 a month. You can buy it for 6 months for $60.
Yeah, which I mean, I still think for that much money, it's a really good deal.
Yeah,
of all the
you
games
pay
can
for
get.
one game and you can play as many games as you want as long as you want.
Yeah.
So if you buy it for a whole year, you spend $120, which sounds like a lot because it kind of is.
Yeah, but there's like 150 games on the service.
Yeah, also, like new games that come out, like Sea of Thieves, and like if a Halo comes out and then a Gears comes out, like you would have spent $120 on those games if you got the standard version.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So it's worth it. So it's exciting to see that. We're both really excited for Sea of Thieves. We've gotten to take a look at it, seen a lot of footage for it, played a little bit. It's
beta starts tomorrow. Yesterday,
there's another closed
2 days
beta.
ago. If you are watching this on Friday,
Yeah.
which, I mean,
24th.
Yeah,
24th through 29th is a closed beta going on. It's really awesome. It's way better than I thought it was. By myself, I don't know if I would enjoy it as much. It's a lot
you
more.
and I had a ton of fun.
It was
playing
fun.
that game.
We played obscenely late into the night. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I think
And we'll
when
do
we
it
got
again.
off, and we'll do it again. Probably not tomorrow night though,
Maybe not tomorrow night.
but soon.
Yeah,
Definitely
maybe
this
Thursday night.
weekend. So that's a really fun one. I didn't think I would like it.
I didn't either.
I'm interested to get into the game and expand more on what was in the beta. It was kind of limited, more or less, and I think that's just like, hey, we're just figuring stuff out as we go. So here's like this little snippet. So like, what's the story behind it? Is it all just like this open world multiplayer? Like, what's the draw? But we'll definitely, I'll grab one of my Xbox Game Pass free month trials that we've got from when we bought our Xboxes and use that. So that'll be nice. So then I don't have to commit to buying the game. Can use my Game Pass, use it for a little bit, and go from there.
Party on.
So very exciting stuff. No
Yep.
no screenshot.
No screenshot, but just
Sorry.
know it's great.
I ruined it.
Well, somebody's got to break the show down. The last game on our list of games we're looking forward to in 2018 is Fable. So
Boy, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
wouldn't it? Well, good news, James. Fable franchise owner Microsoft has tasked UK developer Playground, which makes Forza Horizon games for Xbox and PC, with creating this new Fable. Sources close to the project have told Eurogamer Microsoft said in a statement it does not comment on rumor and speculation.
Sounds
So, standard for Microsoft.
yeah.
But this is exciting.
This is exciting.
I played the original Fable on the original Xbox. Back in the
Say
day.
Fable 3 at least is on Game Pass.
It's on 360. So I didn't get to play it, but I loved Fable 1.
Dude, Fable was a good
The game was
series.
so much.
I didn't get to
fun.
play it as much as I wanted to, but everybody loved it. So I would love to get back into it. In the article, you can go read the link below here. Don't expect it anytime soon. This is not a 2018 game. We just really wanted to mention
Probably
it.
a 2019 game.
Maybe. Yeah, I was going to say
It's probably more like a
farther out.
2020 or
They're
2021.
still just hiring. They're staffing up right now, getting up to their triple-digit staffing numbers. So they don't even have the people for it, right?
Mhm.
They haven't done Fable recently. They had Fable Legends, but that was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and
and it wasn't like a traditional Fable game.
No, it was like a free-to-play game as a service, like multiplayer. It got canned for
I
good
never
reason.
heard about Fable Legends.
I heard
Was
about it a
just
couple
like-
times.
I
But
knew about
was
it, but you never
so-
heard anything about it.
Yeah. So we really haven't seen anything in the Fable universe for a very long time. So what made Microsoft change their mind? That's what I want to know.
Sorry, I got lost in there.
Sorry.
I was reading through my list and I was like, what did we talk about? Yeah, it's been a minute, so we appreciate any grace. But Fable in part was inspired by Sony's phenomenal success with Guerrilla Games' PlayStation 4 exclusive Horizon Zero Dawn. As of June 2017, Guerrilla's story-driven, single-player, open-world action RPG, that is a list of things that a game is,
Boy,
has sold over 3.4 million copies. Rightfully so. That game was amazing.
I was to say it's my game of the year.
So that's where it kind of comes into play with new developers. So Playground?
yeah, Playground.
Yep, Playground makes Forza Horizon games, like we mentioned. I kind of breezed over it.
Mhm.
But Lionhead, being the original studio that did it, is not doing it anymore.
Right.
They wanted to work on a Fable 4, but Microsoft shut down the studio for one reason or another. But it
Can't make
happens.
money off a single player game.
So it'll be interesting to see how a developer that does racing games comes over to an
Hey.
open world RPG.
I mean, they're starting from scratch, right? The
Yeah.
assets were backed up from Fable Legends, but who cares if they use them at this point? So in theory, they're starting from scratch. I don't know. It's really hard to get excited about this when they're still hiring staff to make said game.
Yeah, I understand. Like it wasn't like an official announcement from Xbox.
No, I mean
as
it's a
much as it was,
rumor.
like, it's a
and
rumor.
People get through it,
But-
and it's whatever. But
This right here of us going, well, I mean, how do you get excited about it? Like we can't, like we don't know anything about it. Is why you don't announce games this far out.
right,
It's the problem I had with
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, Hideo Kojima's game. We heard about it when they didn't even have an engine in place.
Yep.
It's just like cool. Like you could have left it
Right.
at Hideo Kojima is making a game exclusively for PlayStation.
They definitely
We don't
didn't need
need
to
an
pull
E3
it out on
presentation.
E3.
We don't need a
What,
PSX trailer.
2014, 2015.
When there is a game to play, show us a game.
Yeah, I don't know why it's that
That's
hard.
kind of where I'm at.
I get maybe like it's
But-
18 months out, like maybe 2 years out.
Yeah.
The first we saw of Horizon was 2 years out. It was E3 2015. Game came out February 2017.
Yeah.
That was still a pretty long time. I think that's kind of like the stretch of what you can do. Dreams, we're seeing that kind of fall to that pressure.
Mhm.
We saw that with No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
You know, it's just there's countless examples of it. So I don't think that we're necessarily worried about this.
Yeah, I don't see Death
I just
Stranding
don't.
and Fable
I don't
falling
like
to the.
that the
trap of No
news
Man's Sky.
cycle that the gaming industry has forced the hand to have these things happen
Yeah.
because nobody wanted this to happen.
We need it now. We need it now. We need it now.
Yeah.
So we can.
we
like,
don't want that.
In 4 years, we can play. Man, we've been hearing about this game forever. It's
Right.
about time it's finally coming out.
Yeah.
But
so
as a developer, you want to put your story out there and spend that marketing money
because you're
to
excited.
get your thing out
Well, I
there.
mean, because you're excited. About
Exactly.
it. You want others to be excited about it. But let's be excited
Let's
when
change your game.
I mean, because Fable Legends was definitely totally really going to happen, and then it didn't. So Fable
Mhm.
4 was totally definitely really going to happen, and then didn't. So reserve judgment, but just a couple years down, 2-3 years down the road, and maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll get really lucky and see something E3. It'll be just like Fable,
It'll be like the Pokemon announcement. It'll just be a guy sitting at his
2064.
computer.
right?
And
And
like,
yes,
we're making Pokemon.
we're making the Fable. We're Fable. Fable
A
forever.
fabled
or
rumor says we're making Fable.
Duke Nukem forever. All right, that's.
See that,
That-
Michael Bay is directing a Duke Nukem movie.
I did see that.
Casting John
If there's
Cena.
anyone that's going to do a Duke Nukem movie,
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay could do the crap out of that. It'll be interesting to see if he tries and goes for his PG-13 rating and tones it down, or if he actually goes for what Duke Nukem deserves, an
Make it
R
rated
rating.
R.
John Cena is probably the perfect person for it.
Oh,
He's a
100%.
really solid actor,
Yeah,
and
that makes sense. He acts for a living. He just acts by throwing people around.
Exactly. That's how
Yeah.
I act.
Exactly. Except for yours is a baby and a mini dachshund.
All right, what's next?
Next, James, this is the most exciting news we've had
Most exciting news
for a whole year.
This is
James.
regular people news
This
right here.
year we've had exciting news. Xbox might be making a new controller.
What?
What's new in this controller, you may ask? Well, the controller itself is an Xbox Elite controller.
This is the
So,
old controller. Don't
is
get
the old
excited. We're not. I'm not showing
This
those
is Garbo.
low poly
Get rid of it.
Garbo controllers. You could see them when they're real.
But according to the anonymous user, it's a rumor. Let's be honest.
Rumor user.
User by the name of rumor. The controller will boast a number of improvements, including built-in rechargeable batteries, a USB-C port, Bluetooth, 3 levels of hair trigger locks, a 3-profile switch, and longer key travel for paddles. Most of these things are good. USB-C is great. I like USB-C. It's what we're moving to now.
Yeah, normal.
Some of these really nerd things of like the hair triggers and the paddles and everything.
It's cool.
But the most
I don't know
important
why
part
you
about this,
need those hair triggers at 3 different settings.
yeah, I would like more hair trigger on my Xbox controller. We've talked about this somewhat at length just in our
I
private
like
time.
different profiles. Those are really cool.
Yeah.
Now I've never had like a really. I'm delaying what you want to
Yeah.
talk about, but I've never had a thing where I could program buttons and paddles and switches. So I have no concept of how or why I would want to use it. So I really would want to get it in my hands and be like, oh, here's a profile for racing. Here's a profile for first-person shooters. Here's a profile for open-world games, and those are what I switch between.
See, like
that would be.
I can see the paddles being good for, and I know the paddles are good for because this is what a lot of people use them for. You're playing a first-person shooter, so we play bumper jumper, right? Jump is on left bumper, L1. Shoot is on right trigger. Melee is on your R3 or right stick. But then, like your reload, you have to move off your thumbstick for.
Right.
So you put your reload on a paddle down here, and so you never leave your thumbsticks. You
Right.
you assign
It's
those paddles to
synchronized.
stuff that you would have over here. So like your grenade
Yeah.
or your reload, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
It'd be interesting.
racing games, I guess
See.
you could move shift. I
So
don't
what's the biggest thing on
Um,
this controller, Jake? The biggest thing.
Bear in mind, everyone, this controller is $150.
Yep.
Xbox, as a wireless controller industry, has existed since like 2005. I think
that's pretty
2005,
fair.
2004, 2005 when the Xbox 360 came out. Finally has rechargeable batteries. James, this controller is $150. We're just now getting rechargeable batteries that you don't have to
insane.
purchase as
That's
extra.
insane.
We had rechargeable batteries in the PS3 controller, 2006.
Really good ones too.
Like great ones. That's still
Oh.
the longest lasting controller I have in my house.
It's insane. It's crazy. So, yay, finally, rechargeable batteries in them. That's how it should be because, duh. I mean, I bought some for mine. No big deal. $20 comes with a charging stand. They get me like 40 hours on a controller. I'm fine with that. But I shouldn't have to
No.
buy a thing for my controller to make it more wireless than it was. Also, Bluetooth, finally, like seriously, it's 2018. You still don't have Bluetooth on your nice controller. You would think with the Elite that
The
they
nice
would have.
one.
Come on
That's the
now,
thing.
man.
Like the upgrade from this controller, I get is great. It's nice. It's a good controller and everything.
Great
It's cool looking. I love this like blacked out controller.
Oh yeah.
But man, it's just like a little thing. But at the same time, we're also talking about the company that just on their last console life cycle put the brick inside the console. Put the power brick inside the Xbox One, and it was like, whoa, that's amazing. I'm like, is it? I had a PlayStation 2 without a brick.
It's true. I mean, I don't even. I'd have to go back in my archives to remember if my PS1 had a brick. I think it did, but it was a really small one. It was nothing. It was nothing like the ones that are the size of the
This
consoles.
is not to say I don't love my Xbox. I do.
No, there's great things about.
I love
it.
the crap out of my Xbox. I've been playing my Halos and my
There's some good stuff.
Assassin's Creed, my Forza.
I don't know how long it's gonna be. Like, it's gonna be a console that I come back to every once in a while to play games as they come out.
Yeah.
I still want all my multiplats on PS4 just because I just like it better. The only reason we got Origins on the Xbox is it came with the system
the
when we
Xbox,
got
yep.
it, so no big deal.
It's one of those things like, I don't know. I really dig the Xbox, and I like the speed of the hardware is to get to my games is a little bit faster
A little bit.
than my PlayStation. There are things I like about using my PlayStation more for like media stuff because I can use my regular remote with
That's
that,
nice.
but I can't use that on my Xbox.
It's funny because I can use my Logitech
Yeah, you're
remote
backwards.
on Xbox, but I can't, and that's just because
Yeah.
they've got an IR sensor.
Yeah.
It's
And
the
I've-
stupidest thing about.
I've used my
PlayStation.
phone on my Xbox, which is pretty sweet. The app works really well, like I have that little controller swiping around and
Right.
whatnot. But man,
There's just a few things that like installing games. Like this is a big one for me. Like put in a disc, right? we'll come back 2 hours later, and it's done. I put a disc in on my PS4, right? I went and rented Knack 2 because we wanted to play the other day, which was a surprisingly good game.
Yeah.
I put it in, I went to the bathroom, it had downloaded the update and installed the game and installed the update in a minute.
Before you ask, the Xbox is also wired into the network.
But the problem was, like, when I put in my Assassin's Creed Origins disc, I thought, okay, take a couple minutes to install. Nope. Not only did it have to download the huge update, but it also had to install the game, which it was doing at a blistering like 5 megabit a second. And so I'm like, this is stupid. Like, it should not take that long. It takes PlayStation 30 seconds to install a game from disk, maybe 45 seconds. That's it. I'm not even talking about downloading the update. I don't care about that. Put in the disc, play game. That's why I have a disc. I should not have to put in my disc and wait 3 hours to play that game.
And Xbox
That's
games
stupid.
are huge.
It's stupid. Xbox games are like twice the size. Why? They're not performing as well. Like, the graphics are better on PS4, marginally, but there's no reason to have that.
The S is technically more powerful than the 4.
I mean, technically, but it's not being used at all. I mean, it's
not by the games we're playing,
by the
and on the TVs we're using.
exactly. So there's just no. I don't know. It's stupid. It's an annoying thing.
Also, all this being said, these are huge first world problems by people that own
obviously.
multiple consoles. We
Oh,
have
yeah.
all the consoles on the market right now. We're speaking from a position that
It's
a lot
really
of people are
disappointing
in.
to say out loud. Makes me think of all the things I could do with my money if it wasn't for games.
Play more games. What would you do if we didn't have video games? What would we do with our lives?
I mean, we'd probably be out of debt. I mean, if we're being complete,
Nah,
we'd be a lot closer. That's for sure.
spend a few $100s a year on video. We've spent more recently because we bought Switches and Xboxes last year.
Yeah,
You know
no.
what? Let's just not talk
I'm
about
talking
it.
about the last year.
Speaking of Nintendo,
You know what I mean.
you rich people in your ivory towers playing your Nintendo Labo, James. Nintendo has new
Oh
stuff.
man, I watched the trailer for this, and I was simultaneously disgusted and wanted to pre-order, like in the same exact moment. I've never had that flavor in my mouth before. It was very weird.
Yeah.
So what is Nintendo
It's
Labo?
Nintendo Labo is
Tell me
essentially
about
it's cardboard construction kits that you will get from Nintendo. So you can make this little piano. You can make racing cars. There's a cool robot kit, which is probably my favorite looking kit. Little house, fishing, motorcycle. But essentially, you buy the kits. Nintendo sends you flat pieces of cardboard, and you pull out. I mean, they're perforated with the right shapes on them and everything. And you build the kits, and it has string in it, so you can wire machines together. And you'll stick 1 or 2 Joy-Cons into the machine and your console into the machine or into the cardboard.
Right.
And they come with software, and you can play games that are on your Switch, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's neat looking little peripheral. It's cheap setup, cheap looking setup rather. They have like customization stickers, and you can paint them. And I mean, it's cardboard. You can do whatever you want with it.
Right.
It's Nintendo branded cardboard is the thing. So there are 2 kits right now. There's a variety kit, suggested retail $69.99. Comes with 2 fishing rods, 1 RC car, 1 house, 1 motorbike, and 1 piano. The other kit is the robot kit. Suggested retail $79.99, includes 1 robot kit.
Also, it includes the software for it too.
Yeah,
So you have
it
to
does
buy that
include the
separate.
software. So where I'm at on this, again, we have a link in the description below. There's like stickers and strings and stuff that come with it. And there's another link down there.
Let's talk about our thoughts first,
yeah,
and then
our
we'll get to
thoughts.
other people's thoughts.
How
How do you feel about it?
I think it's cool.
Mhm.
I think it's expensive.
Okay.
For cardboard.
I can see that.
Because what I see is when your son is a little bit older, how many PlayStations is cardboard going to hold up to
Right.
with him? And granted,
my
it looks like corrugated. It looks a little bit stronger than like the
Right.
average cardboard, but you spend, $70 on the variety kit, and you get all this stuff you see in this picture here. But what happens when he jams his finger through one of the piano keys, or the fishing rod top
Right.
breaks, or the motorbike handle turns too far, or he bends it, or he leans on it too hard. Like in our hands, these will last for a minute. These will go for a while, and that's kind of fun. But in the hands of the children they're marketed towards, how long do they last for $70?
That's my concern. And I think it's important to realize that the cardboard we're getting for this is not the cardboard that you get your FedEx shipment in.
Yeah.
It's not the cardboard that you're sending stuff out. It's in theory, this is going to be that like industrial strength cardboard, like very durable, very strong. I saw it. Somebody posted a GIF of a guy was able to make a chair out of cardboard that held 500 pounds without even like wavering at all.
Yeah.
That's probably more like the cardboard we're going to see.
I would hope so.
And I think the price may be justified. But at the end of the day, these are mini games, right? And this is, I think, when we look at different kinds of games and consumption and things like that, what does that sound like? Well, that sounds like VR, right? The very infancy of VR, mini games and just tech demos and demonstrations of what you can do. And these are really cool. The way they use the piano thing is really cool.
It's kind of neat.
And it's just like they've got the IR sensor on the Joy-Con and it shoots across the keys and you push this
Sees it
down
playing the
and it
keys.
plays it. And then there's a ton of games to go with it. Okay, great. 5 or 6 hours, maybe 10 hours, and then you're done with it, right?
Maybe.
And,
I don't even
and-
think you'd have
right,
that long with
exactly.
it.
So you've got your fishing thing. That's going to be really cool for a couple hours.
Yeah, problem is it's not exactly like a fishing sim where you're going out in a boat and like finding the right spot and doing this. What it looks like is a mobile game where your rod drops in and be like, oh, a fish bumped it.
Yeah.
Reel it in.
See, my problem will be like, I'll start pulling on it, and then my Switch is going to go flying across the room. So
It's okay, it's pretty cheap.
It's an interesting concept, and I definitely want to check it out.
The RC's cards I could see you getting a lot of use out of because like that's
Right.
like a thing that
I think you have to look at $70. So that's like a digital deluxe edition of a game.
Yep.
Right. How many hours do you think justifies that purchase? Are we talking 20? Are we talking 40? You know, if you can
$1 per hour.
right. So I mean, if you, it just kind of depends on what you justify that as. It's a very unique experience.
80
You're not
hours
going
out
to
of
get
the Robot Kid.
you're not going to get these experiences anywhere else.
No.
And so it's not like it's $60 and you get a piano or $60 and you get a fishing rod.
Yeah.
So you get a variety of things. So I just want to get I want to get my hands on it and see what it feels like and see how cool it is.
Yeah.
It's really unique. And it's like the most Nintendo thing they could have come up with because they teased the reveal the day before. And it's like, oh, coming up tomorrow, we're going to show you a new way to play your Switch. And I'm like, they're probably going to have it like holding upside down or give us an extendable battery or something like, nope, cardboard.
Okay.
Cardboard.
Yep. Yeah. So it does also open up a little bit, I know, for third parties.
Yeah.
To like take the software and build some stuff around it. Like either start making third party games to like put on their own little cardboard things or make experiences to put into these pre-existing things. And so that could open up something for that. And
it's definitely a tip of the iceberg scenario. Like we're talking $70 for entry into a brand new concept of things. Whereas with like a VR headset, you're looking $400, $500. You're significantly changing everything about it.
Yeah.
Where this is just like, I don't know. So I like the risk that they're taking. And I think because it's not a $300 or $400 investment, I think it'll be easier to jump in.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, that's like $60, $70. Like it's fine. It's whatever. I can use the cardboard to help move to my next house or whatever. So we'll see. But one of
so
the
to see you make boxes out of the cardboard that comes for your Switch.
But one of the things we found another article that had a bunch of really funny tweets because you always want to know how the internet reacts to these things.
It's the internet.
This is a very polarizing
love
thing.
it.
We put some of the tweets in here, not all of them. You can go to the link below. We'll drop it in there, and you can go see them all. This first one here.
PUBG coming to the
PUBG
Switch.
coming to Nintendo Switch. Incredible.
It's a cardboard sniper rifle.
I don't even know like where the Switch. I guess you could put the Switch like maybe
go in the
right
magazine.
here.
Well, yeah.
Then you have a Joy-Con there.
Joy-Con on the trigger.
Ridiculous.
Did you get the
And then
CEO Cancer Eye. That's one of my favorite Twitter
so
accounts.
he's actually retiring later this year.
I know.
So
I'm
he's
sad
a fake
about it.
fake CEO of Nintendo.
It's not the
'Cause
actual.
I think
Cancer Eye.
Nintendo Labo will be a massive success. There will be as many Nintendo consoles in cardboard boxes as there was on store shelves after the Wii U launch. So that's a good one.
Savage.
This one here, hell yeah, Overwatch confirms for Switch. Thanks, Nintendo Labo.
Classic diva. Am I right?
Just trying to process like your wife walks in and you're sitting there in this outfit and then the Switch is strapped like 3 feet from you, like on like a wireframe, and you're just, hey honey,
I didn't know you'd be home so soon. How was the grocery store?
it would just be ridiculous.
She's like, "Where are your pants?" I am working on them.
And then the last one I've got here, loot boxes, no. Cardboard boxes, yeah, that's it. So it's cool. There's
This is very much a visual thing. If you're listening to the podcast,
Yeah,
you
it's
should
true.
go look at the.
So it's
link.
Drake. It's Drake in that video. I can't
Wonderful dance
remember.
video he had.
I hate Drake, but so
Isn't that Hotline Bling?
I think so. Yeah. It should be interesting. Go look at the Twitter. There's some GIFs in there that I couldn't put in that are decently funny. So you should go take a look at that. And
That up.
yeah,
And that will do it
that's gonna do it.
for the show today. The first show of 2018 for Inverted Reality Points of Interest podcast.
That's right.
Guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sticking with us. Yeah.
Make sure you
Good start to the year.
comment below. Let us know what you thought. Some of the things you want to see in 2018 we're looking to do. bigger and better stuff, and we definitely want to hear from you.
Bigger and better.
Make sure to hit us up on Twitter at IR Games or check out our Facebook page, Inverted Reality Games. Really easy to find. There's links everywhere.
We're
Check out
inverted
below.
reality everywhere. Well, sort of.
Ish. Just don't go to invertedreality.com. That's
No,
not us.
don't do that. It's not us. Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's just not us.
Yeah.
So you'll be cleverly disappointed.
Cleverly disappointed. But thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.